Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to our Total Extreme Wrestling playthrough of TNA here in 2007. Tonight it is the Against All Odds pay-per-view, and it will be a big pay-per-view for us as we continue on in our 2007 year, which has been good so far. We've obviously reached that national size, but we need to keep that momentum going. And speaking of national, I mean, you can see the battle with WWE. We're not currently eligible yet, but they've got 4,240 draw powering points. We're currently got 3,700. We're not that far away from reaching the WWE's level, so we are getting closer and closer. Of course, that takes your top 5 wrestlers and adds up their points. You know, they've got a little bit of a point system there, but you know, we're doing well. We are a national size. Next step is getting to the international size. That's going to take a long time. I don't even think we're going to get anywhere. I don't think we'll ever achieve international. But what we do need to do is make sure we are strong in the US. So more big pay-per-views is the key. Now, we have our pay-per-view booked already, ready to go. We'll get to that in a moment's time. But, yeah, looking at the roster here today, obviously, tonight will be the big debut of Chris Jericho. He needs to have a big statement, a big impact, no pun intended. Jericho currently a lightweight. I wouldn't mind moving him up to middleweight. Oh, I've already done that. So he's in the process of moving up a weight class, which I think is more appropriate for Chris Jericho. A lightweight's a bit too small for him. But I'm really looking forward to seeing him in action. I mean, he won't be having a matchup, but we'll get to see him debut regardless, which is always going to be exciting for us. So tonight should be a big show. Let's get straight into it. So let's see how this one goes down. So we start things off with Rebecca Knox taking on Awesome Kong one-on-one on the pre-show. Here's 69 rated matchup with Awesome Kong picking up the victory. 65 for Awesome Kong, Rebecca Knox 64, so pretty evenly matched. Well, matchup right there between those two, both having a good, strong performance. We had R-Truth and Monty Brown one-on-one. Now, we actually gave R-Truth the victory. Despite Monty Brown having a lot more popularity than Truth, we decided to give Truth that win. Because I think when we look at the performances, Truth is just better. And you can see that quite clearly. Truth 71, Monty Brown 68. So despite Monty Brown, you know, being, you know, a TNA guy, I guess for the most part, having a lot of success in the early days of TNA, you know, Truth did as well. I mean, we have to kind of pick which one we want to go with for now. And I think Truth might be that guy, at least for now. Monty Brown's just got to simply get better at the end of the day. He's just going to have to keep improving. Melina did a promo about her match with Beth Phoenix. And then we started, one more matchup before we get to the main show. We had the New Age Outlaws. I saw the rating and thought this was a main show match because it was pretty good. New Age Outlaws versus Team Canada. No storyline or anything like that behind it. Just a solid match. Bobby Roode 87. Eric Young 77. Road Dogg 81. Billy Gunn 79. So really good performance from both teams. And 86 rated for that matchup, just to get those guys on the show, even if it is the pre-show. Now, we're starting off with Samoa Joe and Jeff Hardy, which I think I made that a 2 out of 3 falls match, I believe. So I'm hoping for big things. Oh, we got hang on, one more hype video. So a hype video, just hyping up Goldberg because we didn't get Goldberg on the card, but we want to feature him some kind of way. Okay, so here we go. We start off with Samoa Joe and Jeff Hardy. It was a 2 out of 3 falls match, just 89 after, I guess, their classic match they had not long ago. We probably thought we were going to get better than that, which is why I opened the show with them. But Joe 88, Jeff Hardy 92. So both had a really good performance, but for whatever reason, just didn't get there. Joe was holding back. Jeff Hardy was holding back. So I guess that's a little bit disappointing there. That's really the only thing that was kind of hindering that matchup, I guess. Muhammad Hassan had a promo on Fallen Angel, 91 rated. We then had Team 3D defend their tag titles over Austin Aries and Roderick Strong. Oh yeah, by the way, I believe Jeff Hardy beat Samoa Joe. So we gave Jeff Hardy the victory. We like Joe, but having Jeff lose at the moment would not be a wise decision, considering we're probably going to look to build Jeff up for a world title shot soon. 86 rated match between Team 3D and Austin Aries and Roderick Strong. Brother Devon, 100 rated performance. Now that's crazy. Really good by him. Brother Ray 88. Now you normally think Brother Ray's the better out of the two, but Devon, wow. Austin Aries 90. and Strong 83. So that actually ended up being a terrific matchup, considering, you know, Strong and Aries don't have the best popularity, but they did well. Brother Devon carried the match. Well, he certainly did. I don't think he carried it, but geez, he had a good performance. So great match. Jeff Jarrett promo on AJ Styles. We had Beth Phoenix and Melina one-on-one, 82. Wow, okay. That's really good. 82 rated from these two women. And Beth Phoenix, 75. So that's probably Beth Phoenix's best match I've seen her produce. They've got pretty good chemistry. Now, Melina actually does have an injury, so whilst competing in our developmental, she actually got an injury. Now, it's just a minor one, so she can obviously keep going, but it did hinder her performance, which is why she only performed at 68. But Beth Phoenix stepped up and carried it to an 82, so if we do a rematch between these two women, maybe 85, maybe even nearly, you know, high 80s could be on the cards. Obviously, the storyline involved certainly helped out and gave it that little extra bump. That's one of our best women's matches, though. That's terrific. That's really great. I'm really happy about that one. Homicide and Shannon Moore got into a bit of a backstage scuffle where they had a bit of a brawl. Now we are still slowly getting ready for a Homicide face turn, but we might have him beat Shannon Moore and then maybe go for that turn when he looks to start a program with someone else. Now I don't know who that will be. I think maybe we could have Homicide win the X Division Championship, because we do have Destination X coming up, and you know, normally we do have the X Division Champion versus the World Champion. So I don't know if we're gonna have to do a triple threat to stick Shelly in, or make Homicide win and have Hassan versus Homicide. I don't know. We'll have to think about it. We had Matt Morgan and Rhino one-on-one. We had it be a steel cage match, and Matt Morgan defeated Rhino and has defended the Impact Global Championship. Really good from Rhino, 83. That's a really good performance from Rhino. It was a brawl style match, which obviously does suit Rhino, but that's a much better performance from him, and that's a performance to me can suggest that he can be a star for us. Previously, we've seen him perform, you know, high 60s, low 70s at best, but to get to 83, that to me suggests, hey, Rhino can be a player on our roster. Matt Morgan, again, really good 86, which is why he's still the global champion. And that might be the end of their rivalry. So they've had a few matches now, a steel cage match to finish. That normally does signify an end of a rivalry. So it's been a good little battle between those two. Matt Morgan's champion. I think maybe Ron Killings might be the next guy to step in to take him on. Since we gave Killings that win, I think that would probably be pretty appropriate. Alex Shelley had a promo about his match with Paul London, and that match was 91 rated. So Alex Shelley defends his championship. He beat Paul London. Shelley 87, Paul London 85. 91 rated match. Really good between these two. We actually made this match a high spots match, and Paul London has terrific aerial ability, so his high spots work is terrific. Shelley's is pretty good, not as good, but pretty good. Shelley still had a better performance overall. So I think that type of matchup was the right one to do. He got the best out of Paul London and got us a 91 rated match. So I'm very happy about that one. Kind of looking back now, you think, well, maybe that should have opened the show, but it was a big risk, and you can't really do a high spots match to start the show off. The crowd need to be warmed up a bit, I think. But overall, really good. Really, really good. Just lacked a bit of psychology to get it to that next level. But you can't complain with that. Shelley's still the champion. So we do have plans for Paul London. We do want to see him succeed, but I guess Shelley's just doing so damn good right now. It'll be almost criminal to take the championship away from him for someone like Paul London. I'm not, putting Paul London down, but, unless it was Homicide, who's on the same level as Shelley, you wouldn't give Shelley that. You wouldn't have Shelley lose that championship. So title defense number 3 for Shelley, and here we go. So Chris Jericho makes his debut. Christian Cage, he's having his talk show segment, the Peep Show, a surprise interruption. With Chris Jericho coming out. Now forget about what's said here, but focus on what I'm saying. Jericho is the surprise. No one expected it. He, think of of The Rock cutting a promo in the ring, and then the Titantron coming on. The countdown clock, something like that. Jericho comes out, and it's Jericho coming out, going back and forth with Christian on the microphone. Jericho, very good rated debut, so his gimmick was successful. Christian looked good, 100 rated segment, perfect. And we actually hadn't set a storyline between those two yet, so we kind of made a mistake there. But that's okay, I'm sure we'll have plenty of 100 rated segments, so it's not that much of a loss here. But yeah, so Jericho and Christian, maybe we'll have them team up. That might be an idea. Maybe we could go in, a different route. Christian teams up with Jericho, because I think they did team for a while, and obviously are friends. So you could go with that. They used to, forming a team. Hey, we're gonna run TNA together. But then Christian turns on Jericho. We had a stable promo where Abyss, James Mitchell, Shelly Martinez, and Test. I think Kevin Thorne was there too. Maybe I made a mistake. I might have made a mistake and not accidentally included Kevin Thorne. But yeah, so that was a promo, just hyping themselves up, just kind of, cutting a promo, just reminding them, and also a way to get Abyss on the card because we didn't want to leave him out. So yeah, 78 wasn't great, but just a way to get them on the show. And Shelly Martinez is still very, very new. She's got a lot of work to do. We had America's Most Wanted versus the Kings of Wrestling, 83 rated match. Then you look at the performances and you wonder what the hell happened. James Storm 90, Chris Harris 92, Chris Hero 98, Cesaro 96. Oh my god, I mean, what about those performances? But only 83. So what happened? So we did try and make this match an all-out match. So there was a bit of penalizing there because of that. Because I thought, alright, we've got, 15 minutes. Let's give everything we've got in this matchup. And the performances are all good, but the overall rating just didn't get there. Cesaro has sustained an athlete's foot. I don't know how significant that will be. Let's fingers crossed that's not a big deal. AJ Styles promo on Jeff Jarrett. And then Jarrett and AJ, an 88 rated match, Jarrett 91, AJ 90. So both good in-ring performances, but again, just can't seem to get a great match, an epic match out of these two. And surprisingly, we gave AJ Styles the victory. So we are looking to put AJ Styles over big time and truly make him the next star, one of our next world champion caliber superstars, competitors here on TNA. Jeff Jarrett's obviously a veteran, and Jeff Jarrett's fine. He can lose this match and be okay. He can get back to where he was pretty comfortably just by his promos and just how good he is. AJ kind of needs this win. His promos aren't as strong, and he needs wins to get him over. We then had a promo hyping up Hassan and Fallen Angel. Judging from what we've seen tonight, I don't know how good this match is going to be. Hassan's obviously excellent. Angel's great. But can these two produce a great match? I think I made it a Falls Count Anywhere match just to give it a stipulation, something different from their previous one. So let's see. Whoa! Holy... Wow, there you go. There you go. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. This is the match that we were looking for. This is what we wanted out of these two. We looked at these two guys and said these two are maybe our best two workers on our show. We put them together. They didn't create magic the first time, but second time round they've done it. 91 from Fallen Angel, Muhammad Hassan 93, 99 rated match. Title defense number 4 for Muhammad Hassan, who beats Fallen Angel. Oh, can we get a third match, please? Wow. Wow. That was really good. Really freaking good by these two. Excellent stuff. That has really made our pay-per-view, good. It might save our pay-per-view. I don't know how good it's going to be. With the 89 opener, I think we could be looking at 94, 95. Let's have a look. 96! 96! So I guess that is considered to be our best ever show, because Muhammad Hassan and Fallen Angel is considered to be our best ever match here in the series, I believe. I think 98, have we got a 99 before? We may have. I thought 98 was our best. But 99, Hassan and Angel delivering our best show, our best match. It's done it all. What a match. What a freaking match between those two. So happy about that one. I thought Jeff Hardy and Joe, when I looked at the card tonight, I thought those two were going to have the best match of the show. I thought Hassan and Angel will have a good one, but I didn't predict it to be that good, judging from their previous one. But they've done it. They've done it, so we'll have to give these two lots of love. Let's give them a hug because that's just excellent. And let's see who else really deserves some praise. I mean, no one else. You know, we didn't have another epic match. We'll give Chris Jericho some praise. Welcome to TNA. So Angel's happy. They've got to be happy. Why wouldn't you be happy? You're getting praised. You know, we're talking about how great you are. It's not as though you're going to be like, oh, well, screw you. Of course he's going to be happy about that. Wow, there you go. So against all odds, when I looked at this pay-per-view, I thought, man, we're missing Abyss. We don't have Goldberg on the card. We're missing a couple of our big names. I just didn't know. We had 3 big singles matches, but I just didn't think it was going to be that amazing. But it ended up being sensational thanks to one terrific match. So, alright, so let's take a look. We got a few pieces of news to get into. So, Antonio Thomas, which is one member of the Heartthrobs, which, oh my, if you haven't seen the Heartthrobs, go and check them out. It's not great. Yeah, we'll pass. WWE can keep them. TNA has completed their 1-month warming up phase after rising to national size and now eligible to be included in national battles. So that was what we were looking at before. So we were wondering, what's the deal? You know, why can't we compete in national battles? It's because we had to complete a 1-month warming up phase. So we've done that, and now we can officially compete with WWE. Marufuji is now muscular. That's good. Bret Hart's trainer contract for developmental is now expiring, so we definitely want to renew that. We don't want to let Bret Hart go. Some people don't like it. Well, that's okay, because he's not really going to be around, and we'll have Bret Hart be whatever is needed. Well, I guess, I mean, can Bret Hart even wrestle? I mean, I'm sure he could do it if we wanted him to. It would be handy to have that option. I don't know. I mean, he can only work events otherwise, but it's not really going to matter if it's just developmental because he's there to be a trainer. So it'd be handy to have that up our sleeve if we want that. So let's give him that. We'll give him another 1-year contract. Yeah, okay. He only want to work events only. So, okay. So he's a developmental trainer. Paul Heyman's causing rifts, so he doesn't like Jerry Lynn. And now everyone else doesn't like Jerry Lynn. That's not good for Jerry Lynn. Oh boy. Chris Harris likes Eric Young. So does Chris Jericho, and so does Paul London. So a lot of love for Eric Young. EY getting some love. So it looks like everybody hates Jerry Lynn right now, which that's going to cause some real issues. Against all odds, 0.55 buy rate, really good. Cesaro suffered athlete's foot, which won't affect him. He'll be okay, so that's fine. So he'll be okay. He'll be able to keep on working through that. Michael Shane's developmental contract is coming up, so we have to make the decision: do we keep him or do we cut him? Now, his matches so far this year averaging 63. His matches last year were averaging 64, so I guess you could say he's getting worse. But to be fair, working lesser quality opponents. Let's have a look at his progress. So his brawling has slightly improved, his chain wrestling slightly improved, mat wrestling a little bit, aerial a little bit, flashiness a little bit. So he's improving little bits. Basics getting up there. Psychology has improved quite a lot. You can see his improvement is really coming in the last few months. So probably when we send him down to developmental, his selling is getting there. So his stamina is getting up there. So look, it may be a case that developmental is working for him. His charisma has improved. Microphone skills have improved. So based on that, I think he may be worth giving him a little bit longer. So I hope we don't have to pull him out of developmental and put him back in. We probably will. But let's give him that contract. Yeah, he's going to want that. Ugh. Okay, so I hate having to do that, but we will. So we'll give him a 6-month contract. I wish we could just put him straight in developmental, but we can't. So he is pretty average, but we'll give him 6 more months. We'll see how he looks in 6 months, see how his progression is. And at the end of the day, he's got 57 popularity. So he's good to have in developmental anyway. He's just working there, even if we're not going to use him. Now, here's the big one. Jazz. We were going to let Jazz go. We had no use for Jazz. She's 33. Her performances have been crap. She sucks. We're going to let her go. Dixie Carter has personally extended the contract of Jazz. Well, thanks, Dixie. And I think she's given her a 3-year contract. 3 years! 3 more years, we are stuck with Jazz. Why? I mean, she's just not good. But we're going to have to put up with it. Now, a lot of you say, hey, put her as a developmental trainer. Oh, God, maybe we have to. Otherwise, we're stuck with her on the main roster. So, she's hanging around. She just won't go away. Just won't go away. Let's take a look at some of the results and some of the popularity changes from our pay-per-view. So AJ Styles, whoa, there you go, up to 80 now. 80, 81, which is excellent. I think he was maybe 77 before, which is great. Shelley, doing well, still in the low 70s. He's still on the rise. Awesome Kong, she had a match, no real difference. Beth Phoenix, bumped up to 44, 45, so she's getting there. We need her to get there because our roster for our women is just abysmal. We really need her to improve. Billy Gunn, he's up to 67. That's good for Billy. The Dudleys, still mid-70s, still strong. I don't know who's going to take them titles from the Dudleys. I mean, I like to say Cesaro and Hero, but I don't know if they're there yet. Cesaro is up to 58. Chris Hero is doing a lot better. He's 62, so he's certainly improved a lot more. He's getting, starting to really get himself over, whereas Cesaro is falling behind a little bit, but Cesaro is starting to catch up after that pay-per-view. Chris Harris still at 72, still going well. Jericho with his debut, I think he was 88. With that debut, he's gone to 89, 90, there's a 91 in a couple of regions, so he's bumped up a little bit as well, just from that debut promo, which is fantastic. Goes to show that sometimes a big promo can just help big time. Christian as well, so he's gone into the 90s again as well, so that may be something to think about. Having a talk show segment with really high caliber wrestlers on there, that may be really able to help us, because you do it on TV, it doesn't have the same impact, no pun intended. Anything you do on a pay-per-view will have a much bigger difference. So if you have Christian and Jericho going back and forth on the mic on a pay-per-view, it's going to have a much bigger and much better effect, especially when it's a 100-rated segment. So something to keep in mind in the future. If we need to kind of use our top guys for something, a promo is okay. A talk show segment, something like that is okay, because it can produce high-quality results, as we just saw. Looking around, Goldberg's still looking good. Homicide. So we are obviously trying to turn Homicide. He's only had the one segment, so he needs a little bit more. I think Homicide, probably needs at least 6 or 7 to get it over. So we'll give him a few more. As we said, we'll probably have him beat Shannon Moore. James Storm, 70. Jeff Hardy, 80. So Jeff Hardy did beat Joe, but no real influence on his popularity. Jeff Jarrett, I think he was 84. He's dropped down to 81, 82-ish after the loss to AJ, but that doesn't really matter because, AJ Styles was in that high 70 bracket. Now you move AJ Styles from that into the 80 mark, which I think is a true full-blooded main event star. You've already got Jeff Jarrett still there, so now you've got AJ there and Jeff Jarrett there at the same time. It's the right call. So we've finally got AJ Styles at the level that we've been looking for him to get to. I think he's been stuck in the 70s for the last year. I guess it takes a big win sometimes. We try to get him over with promos and things like that. But with his mediocre mic skills, it was never going to happen. He's going to have to beat someone big. And Jeff Jarrett is someone who can afford a loss. and I'm sure Jeff Jarrett will get back to where he was. You know, Jeff Jarrett can cut a few good promos. He's got a good enough mic skills to get himself over, so he can cut a few promos and he'll be back to where he was if we do it right. Just continuing on a little bit further along, Matt Morgan. So Matt Morgan now at the 70 rated level, which is great. So he beat Rhino. He's now rated 70 popularity, 30 years of age. Morgan really starting to come into his own here. And as I said, probably Truth and Morgan might be next up. But Morgan's doing terrific. And I think he's someone we really need to do a lot more with. He's still rated a mid-carder, but I think he's nearly at that upper mid-carder level. Melina, 67, 68. Monty Brown. So despite losing, Monty Brown, it was on a pre-show, so it doesn't really matter, I guess. There's not a lot of influence. So we actually had the show in Mid-South, so Brown's gone from 68, 69 in the Mid-South to 66, so Truth will have a small gain. Muhammad Hassan, 92 still. He's still going excellent. What was Fallen Angel, by the way? I kind of skipped over him. Fallen Angel, so he is still some regions in the 80s, but for the most part high 70s, despite that classic match. But let's have a look. Just Fallen Angel. Look at his match quality. 99 with Hassan, 98 with Abyss, 97 with Joe, 97 with Homicide, 96 with A-Train, and a tag match was 95. His previous match with Hassan was 92. So to go from 92 to 99 is huge. That's ridiculous. So quite clearly, if we're looking at our best worker, has to be Fallen Angel, who's averaging 94. Averaging 94 this year. He's only had one match outside the 90s. There you go. That is incredible. He keeps this up. Could be Wrestler of the Year. It's a tough task to keep it up all year, but you know, if anyone can do it, it's probably him. And just to compare with the Sun, he's averaging 93. 93, and again, only one match outside, and that is really, really good as well. So he's actually beaten. Okay, so 2 times he's versed Angel one-on-one, and then the tag match as well. So Hassan's having a great start to his year as well. Moving along, Paul London still at 67 despite the loss. Rhino has dropped. That's not good. Rhino's dropped to 66, 67 despite the loss. So that's frustrating. You know, he's lost. We expected him to drop, but Matt Morgan's really leapfrogged him quite a lot. So Rhino will need to recover. Rhino, we might have to maybe think about putting him in the tag team division with someone. I mean, maybe Sabu and Rhino might not be a bad idea with that ECW connection. Had to think about it. Truth with the victory, still, gone up a little bit in that Mid-South region, but that's about it. Samoa Joe, 673, 76, 74-ish, so he's still going well. He's slowly improving, and I'm sure he'll get to that 80 mark, hopefully by the end of the year. Hopefully sooner, but at least by the end of the year. By getting Shelly Martinez on TV on pay-per-view as well, that helped her out, boosted her up to 36. I think she was like high 20s. And that's it. So that's our change from the Against All Odds pay-per-view. So a fair amount of influence from that one show. It's going to be big. It's going to be a big period because now we have Chris Jericho. We officially start Jericho and Christian. That's going to be exciting. But again, I think maybe having Jericho and Christian teaming up, maybe we could do, well, if only the Dudleys were heels at the moment, because then you could have those two team up to take them on for the tag belts. Maybe you could do Christian and Jericho versus America's Most Wanted as a tag match for the next pay-per-view, and just have things go sour from there. And maybe that's an idea. So let me know, do you think Jericho and Christian should team up for the next pay-per-view? And then after that, it's Lockdown, so then you can have those two compete in a lethal Lockdown match or go one-on-one or whatever. Maybe, if we could drag it out long enough where we could have those two compete one-on-one at Slammiversary for the first time, that would be great. So you could almost have them team up at Destination X, be successful, and then things go wrong in the Lethal Lockdown match. Maybe we have Jericho and Christian teaming up in the Lethal Lockdown match against somebody. Things go wrong there, and then at we do something else at Sacrifice, and at Slammiversary, one-on-one, Jericho, Christian, that would be huge. That would be huge. So I would like to wait until that big show to do that, and by then I think we could have both guys maybe 93, 94 popularity if we can play our cards right. And if we can do that, wow. So looking forward to that one, and plenty more to come as well. So next up, it is Destination X. We still have to decide what we're going to do with the X Division Championship. Would love to see Hassan and Angel again. We could do that and add Alex Shelley in as a third man to make it a triple threat. Shelley's good enough where he can hold his own. Otherwise, we've got a bit of an issue because Shelley is a heel, Hassan's a heel. It just won't work. So that may be our out. That may be what we can do to get through that. It also mixes up the main event scene a little bit as well. And, I guess you probably want Hassan taking on some of our bigger names. So I guess after this pay-per-view, we could start to have maybe Team Hassan take on Team Christian and Jericho and Hardy and whatever. Maybe branch away from that and have Jeff Hardy versus Muhammad Hassan. That could be our feature feud heading into the Slammiversary season. That essentially is our number 3 babyface, Jeff Hardy versus Hassan. The only other guy we could probably think about is Goldberg. We still have to kind of think about what we're going to do with Goldberg. We're going to put him in the title mix. His matches haven't been great. Can he get carried to an excellent match? I don't know. Still question marks. Lots of question marks. But for now, we will leave it at that, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining us again for another episode of Total Extreme Wrestling here in our TNA playthrough. If you haven't already, check out our new stream series. We're playing WWE 2009 here on Total Extreme Wrestling. We've had our first couple of shows already, and our first pay-per-view is coming up very soon on that. So don't miss that one. Those 2 episodes are available to watch. They are long, but you can skip through, do whatever you want with them. But also, if you want to, watch the whole couple of hours. If you need more Total Extreme Wrestling, that's where you need to go. Thank you for watching, ladies and gentlemen. Leave a like on this episode. Let's try and hit 100 likes. Subscribe if you haven't already to see more. Lots to come. Jericho is going to be debuting very, very soon. Can't wait for that. Thank you for watching, ladies and gentlemen. See you next time.